I thought you might be interested to see what bees can do in a couple of weeks after you catch a swarm. I've got 2 nukes back here in my backyard that were a couple swarms that were caught just over 2 weeks ago. I did videos on both of them. The first one was a video where I transferred the bees from a plastic tote that my friend had caught the bees into the nuke box. I'm just going to try to lift them up and over. I have to get my veil on. I'm not even going to look for the queen. I'm just going to move them over. Obviously they have their queen with them. And the other one was the video where I actually caught the swarm using a bucket on the end of a pole. Both successful swarm catches, both average size swarms for this area, both put in nuke boxes with, I think, all empty plastic foundation frames. And so we'll see how they did. I'm curious to see. This was actually the one in the video where I transferred the bees from the plastic tote into the nuke. One thing you may notice is I'm hoping to be able to do this without having to put on my jacket and gloves. The bees have been much more calm the last few times I've gotten in them. You can tell already that they've done a lot of work. I can see a lot of white wax down in there. All the wax is drawn out. They've got an area cleared right here for the queen to lay. Some pollen coming in, honey around the edges. I fed these bees, I think, 1 or 2 quarts of sugar water initially to help them get things going. And that's really all I've done with them besides just let them do their thing. I never saw the queen in either of these that I know of. Don't know if they were virgin queens or if they were mated queens. This one obviously is mated. Look at that frame of brood right there. Bees are absolutely incredible. Yes, this frame looks like it was a new frame. It was just a frame that my friend had put in there because they've just drawn this out as well. Look how awesome that is. Looking down in here, I can see eggs basically in every empty cell. Whoops, that was not good. Trying to do it very carefully, and so I bumped the frame. They're still not really coming after me, but just trying to avoid bumping the camera. That one got me right there. So here's what's going to happen with this hive. They're going to have to go in a bigger box, and I do happen to have a bigger box for them. Not a huge population right now, but that's about to change as soon as all this brood starts to emerge. Have not seen the queen, but I know she's in there. It's obvious she's in there. So isn't that just amazing though, when you think about it? This hive was just a swarm, had no resources in the hive, no comb in here. They put them in this box just over 2 weeks ago, and they've basically drawn everything out. They've established their colony, and the queen is going crazy laying eggs, and they're going to be a strong colony, I think. What do y'all think? Isn't that awesome what they can do in just a couple of weeks? It was a nice swarm, but it wasn't absolutely huge. It was just a pretty normal sized swarm for this area. Shake them down so they'll go in and they don't get smashed. If the bees are all balled up on the side of the frame like they were, you'll tend to roll them as you put them in the hive. So I like to shake them down in there, let them run down in the frames. There's quite a few bees on the lid. That's the first one. Let's go look at the other one. This is the one that I caught with the bucket on the pole. Let's see what we got in here. I didn't actually catch that other swarm, so they might have been a little bit bigger than this one. Well, let's just see how we're looking here. It's outside frame. Once again, I think it was all frames of empty foundation. Drawn it out pretty much. This side they're just getting started on. Don't know if it was a virgin queen or a mated queen. If we have brood in here that's capped, we'll know it was probably a mated queen. If we had a new little virgin queen that's just starting to lay, we won't have capped brood yet. In almost every cell there's an egg, and down at the bottom of the frame there's some larvae that's in certain stages of development. On this side we also have eggs and newly hatched larvae. Yeah, we have brood right here. So not really sure. I haven't seen the queen yet. But yep, she's definitely got some capped brood. So if this was a virgin queen and she got mated immediately and started laying within 7 days of when she was put in this nuke, then she could have a little capped brood. But I just don't know. It's probably just brand new larvae because not a lot of it's capped. There are eggs everywhere, so I'm thinking this colony probably had a virgin queen when it swarmed, maybe, and she's just getting busy. I'm surprised I haven't seen either of the queens yet. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for them though. So this colony is also doing well. We've got almost everything drawn out and she's laying up a storm. That is the power of catching swarms. These are both nice swarms, but not absolutely huge swarms. And they both are doing a great job. Well, since we've established that both of these swarms are doing great, they basically have the boxes full of drawn comb. I'm actually going to put them in a 10 frame hive right now. So I'm going to show you quickly how I do that. Now we're going to transfer them over. So what I'll do here is I'm going to set the nuke down here. I'll put the 10 frame box on here. Now I'm going to give these bees a little bit of a jump start. They've done a great job drawing out this comb. I'm going to put 3 frames of drawn out comb in here from old hives, old dead outs or whatever. Give them a little bit of a head start, and 2 frames of foundation plus the 5 frames there that they've already established or got going. So I want them to draw out these 2 frames of foundation, so I'll probably put them somewhere near the middle of the brood nest. Now there are those people that tell you should never ever separate the brood nest on your bees. There are times of the year when that is true, but in my experience, if you kind of stagger or checkerboard the frames, I've had no issues doing that over the years. And there are different ways to do it. I'm probably just going to go ahead and keep this frame towards the outside. Then I think I'm going to put a frame comb right here. Look for the queen real quick too. I'd love to see her, oh, there she is. Oh my gosh, she's a beautiful queen. She's right there. I would be willing to bet she's a new little queen that's just got mated, because there really isn't a lot brood in there. Look how pretty she is. Almost looks like a Cordovan queen. She's got the beautiful gold body with a brown thorax. It's not really even black. Make sure I don't smash her. Let me see if I can see where she went. Yeah, there she is. So I think we're safe. I'm going to set her down in here. The frame of foundation. What this will do if you put the foundation between two frames of established brood is it will motivate, I think, it'll motivate the bees to build quickly. Now in the winter time or in the late fall, if you're going to try and do this, you want to keep the brood nest together because it's going to be kind of cold. You don't want to have chill brood or have the bees separated. As this brood begins to develop and emerge, this thing is going to fill up with bees really fast, and there's going to be no issues with this. I'm probably also going to put some food on them to let them help get established here, and I think it's just going to boom. I've done this many times in the past with good success. And the frame of foundation, the frame of brood. See, and also if you think about this, there's not a huge population of bees. I mean, there are a lot of bees, but it's not like every frame is totally covered and just tons and tons of bees. But as soon as that brood emerges, it's going to be packed with bees really fast. Plus there are a lot of foragers out and they're coming home, and so I think we're going to be in good shape doing it this way. There's quite a few bees on these last couple of frames I'm putting in. There we go. If you'll look right here, you can see there are a lot of bees in the box. So what to do about those bees? What I like to do, well, there's different things to do. One thing is you can bump them and dump them, which a lot of people are like, you bump your bees, you're too rough on your bees. Well, it works. Just kind of take them, bump them down in the corner, and kind of dump them in the hive. Like that. And then what I'll probably do is just set them right here at the corner of the hive there, the new hive, and they'll end up all going in. I'll just leave this mix box sitting here and they'll eventually go in as to get things figured out. So there are many ways to do this. This is how I decided to do this one. Sometimes I'll just stagger straight up foundation in between, but I have some drawn comb, some old comb I need to get in hives before just trying to get it working for the bees, and it'll help give them a little head start, and they should be in good shape. But I think this thing's going to boom. I think in a couple of weeks from now, this thing is going to be totally drawn out again and be packed with bees. We could probably add honey boxes or whatever we want to do on here. We might get a little honey out of it this year. One thing about these early swarms, if they're good, strong, healthy swarms, they can do amazing things, and I have even gotten some pretty decent honey crops off of the early swarms I've caught in the past. Well, we got that done. Both the swarms are now transferring to 10 frame boxes and they're going in. And if you'll notice, I don't have my gear on, so the bees are much nicer. I think the flow has started, and so I think they've calmed down. I was a little worried about my bees. I thought they were all mean, but they seem to be getting back, dropping back into more their normal mode now. Some of them are somewhat defensive, but the mean factor or the super defensive factor has gone way down. So that was fun. That's what a swarm can do, an average size swarm in this area can do in 2 weeks. And we saw it in 2 of them. One was a little ahead of the other one, but they both were doing great. Before we close out, I want to remind you that when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to give away this Laura Bees vaporizer. I've got one that I've used. I love it. There's a video on it if you want to see how it works. And I'm excited to give that thing away. When we hit that 10,000 subscriber mark, I'll be announcing the rules. So I appreciate y'all watching the channel. Y'all take care and be safe.